Hey, what's up? This is Harry Wagner from Harry's Situations, and today I want to talk to you about whether mud terrain tires are a good choice for icy roads. Now, as we're filming this, the country has been gripped by ice-y conditions on the roads all over the place, and it's really brought the country to a grinding halt. So we're going to talk about what the best tires are for that terrain. We're also going to talk about tips for driving and tips for yourself too if you are not accustomed to sub-zero temperatures in the winter. So stay tuned. I'll have what he's having. You will note that all the tires here behind me are Nitto tires. This video is brought to you by Nitto. If you like what we're doing here, please subscribe to the Driving Line channel so you don't miss any content like this in the future. Nitto makes a variety of tires for a variety of different terrain and conditions, vehicles, pretty much any situation, they've got you covered. Check them out at nittotires.com. All right, let's walk it back a little bit to our original question. Are mud terrain tires good for icy roads? The short answer is no. But keep watching because we're going to talk about what sort of features you do and don't want to look for in a tire for icy roads, what the limitations are, and being realistic about your use case. So there's a lot of ground to cover in this video. Let's get started. So behind me, there are 4 different Nitto tires. We're going to talk about the features on each of those now in great detail. So this is the Nitto Trail Grappler and the Nitto Mud Grappler, the most aggressive tire that Nitto makes. I'll be honest, you put these tires, even in a stock size, on any truck and it looks badass. It looks way more aggressive. It's science! You can't argue with science! These tires have certain features that make them great for off-road, namely big lugs, big voids, and deep tread depth. Now what that does is when you're off-road, whether you're in the sand, you're out in the desert, or you're in mud, when you spin this tire, each of these lugs is going to act like a little paddle. It's going to fling out the mud and propel you forward. And if you look in between the tread here, you'll actually notice there's little features. It's not just flat. These features within the bottom of the carcass keep the mud from getting stuck in here and allow it to escape. So a lot of technology goes into these. One thing you will notice is that there is one sipe in each of these lugs for both the Mud Grappler and the Trail Grappler. And that's intentional. The reason being these big lugs, when you spin them, are less likely to chunk or tear. The tire's gonna last a lot longer. Now the trade-off there is when you're on an icy road, each one of these tread blocks is like a little ice skate. You act like sliding around on icy roads is a bad thing. It puts a lot of pressure on the ground and that turns that ice into water, and essentially you want to hydroplane because that water has nowhere to go. That's why these aren't a great choice for driving in winter on ice and snow. So you have a few different options if you want to drive on ice and snow. Maybe you get a second set of tires and wheels. I do that with several of my vehicles, and I have dedicated winter tires and wheels, or sometimes just winter tires. The benefit there is you don't have to buy a second set of wheels and have that expense, but the trade-off is you have to mount up the tires at twice a year. For me, that's not a big deal. That gives me an opportunity to rebalance them, to rotate them, but it is an additional expense and you need a place to store those extra tires and wheels. Now you can also get a less aggressive tire and run it year-round. So let's look at the Terra Grappler G3 and the Motivo 365 tire and the features those have. So here we have the Nitto Terra Grappler G3 tire and the Motivo 365. Both of these tires are 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake rated. So what that means is these have undergone independent testing to ensure that they exceed a standard from the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration on snow and ice. That assures you if you see that, you know that a tire is going to be good for winter conditions. Now you may have seen mud and snow ratings. That really doesn't mean a whole lot. Those mud and snow in my mind are 2 totally different things, and anyone can stamp that on a tire. It really is pretty meaningless. 3 Peak Mountain Snowflake, not the case. So looking at this Terra Grappler G3, we notice that it still has really good tread depth and it has pretty good sized lugs, but each of these lugs has multiple sipes in them. There's dimple sipes, which is going to allow water and snow a place to escape. And the spacing is tighter. They don't have as big of voids as the mud grappler and the trail grappler do. Now, all of that means that this is going to work better on icy roads. And honestly, these are still a really good tire off-road, and they look great on your truck year-round. Not a bad choice at all. Now, you might be saying, Harry, the Motivo 365, that's a car tire. Why are you even talking about it? And it's fair. They don't make this in a 40 or a 42, but there are some features here that are worth looking at as well. So we'll notice, continuing down the line, this doesn't have as big of tread depth, it doesn't have as big of voids, but it has even more siping, and you'll notice that the tread varies across it. This is designed to be quiet. One thing mud tires aren't great at is being quiet. And if you have open headers and a soft top on your Jeep, it doesn't really matter, but in a car, it's a lot more important. The Motivo 365 is also softer than this mud grappler or trail grappler, and that's a function of the use case. So this is designed to go on a car that's going to be lighter weight, likely have less power than a big truck. These still have a 60,000 mile tread wear warranty, so they're not too soft by any stretch of the imagination, but just by being a little softer, it allows them to conform to the terrain even when the temperatures drop, and most tires get very stiff. If you live in a place where there's snow on the ground for several months out of the year, you're likely going to want one of these Three Peak Mountain Snowflake rated tires. But if you're in a place where you get freak storms and it's not common, you can still get away with running trail grapplers, mud grapplers. Maybe you want to split the difference and run something like a ridge grappler or a recon grappler, which are going to be better than these mud grapplers or trail grapplers, but they still are aggressive and they look great. They work great on the street and the trail. Some driving tips for you regardless of what tires you have or even what you're driving. When the conditions get bad out, you want to leave yourself plenty of time. You want to have your lights on to make sure you can see and others can see you. You want to leave plenty of space for braking and keep your speeds down. Those are good rules of thumb to make sure you avoid an accident if the roads are icy. Now, this might not come as a surprise to you. I grew up in California, and when I went to college in Colorado, I froze my butt off. I was not accustomed to ice and snow. So a few things you should do to be prepared yourself are make sure you dress in layers. You don't want to wear cotton. They say cotton kills. If you wear synthetic fibers or wool, it wicks away moisture. It keeps you warm even when it's wet. Some other things, you lose a lot of heat through your head. So having a beanie like this is really helpful. Wearing those layers, making sure you're covered up, gloves really come in handy. All of those things you're gonna want with you when the temperatures drop. That's it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and learned a thing or two. Comment below and let me know what your favorite part of the video is, what I forgot, or just what you had for breakfast. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All the comments help. Thank you for watching this Harry Situations video on the Driving Line channel. Driving Line has all sorts of great content creators, and they're dropping new content almost daily. You're definitely going to want to subscribe so you don't miss any of it in the future. And we'll see you out on the trail.